So looking at the Menaglim again, so we see that they were really holy people. They were in the world of Machshava, and they wanted to have Eretz Yisrael also in their thought. So in essence, they were holy. Specifically, if they went b'shlichus as a messenger from Moshe Rabbeinu and a messenger from all Yidden, they should have had the strength of the Yidden and Moshe Rabbeinu to accomplish their shlichus. So what went wrong over here? And the idea is as follows. In their source, and that's what we look on, what a Jew should look on another Jew, he should see his source. That in his source, he is as holy as he can be. And therefore, they looked at the source. And the source of the Menaglim, they were very holy. They're in the level of Eilam HaMachshava. Or even Eilam HaDibur. But they couldn't lower themselves down to Eilam HaMaisa. How do you bring down to Eilam HaMaisa? You need a much higher level of Kedusha. Because who can go down? Someone as it has a very high source. Someone that his source is revealed in him. That is not just theoretically Lamaila, or only the Baal Shem Tov sees the light over Jewish people. We're talking about the actual source. So they thought, Taka, they can't go down there. They can't come down Eilam HaMaisa. Action. So we see this also regarding, which we learn in Parshas Chukas, that when the Yidden sinned, Hashem told them to take up the snake, put up a snake, and they should look up. So at first glance, we know the snake, first of all, sinned, and that's the source of all sins. We call the Yetzer Hara Nachash HaTzvaini, the northern, which we know from the north comes all the bad. It's opened. But we also know that in the source of the Nachash, it's Nachash HaKadmoini, from way above. And that's what they had to look on. Not in the snake, which is in actuality a terrible thing. Look at the source of it and you'll be healed. The same thing with the Yetzer Hara, the Malach HaMaves. Yetzer Hara does not want you to do an Aveira. As we know, like a Ben Zoyna, a Zoyna, which comes to the son of a king, she does not want the prince to listen to her. So too with the Yetzer Hara. And the Yetzer Hara sometimes goes against God also. He goes even more. So everyone wants to do the will of God. It's just that the Yetzer Hara attacked him and pulled her down or him down. But even every Yid wants to do the Ratzon of Hashem. No one wants to go against God. Until it says that you can force a Jew to do a mitzvah because he really wants to do the mitzvah. His inner will wants to do the mitzvah. And that goes with an aguna or someone that doesn't want to give a get to their wife. You can force him until he says, I want to give a get. And the reason why, because his inner will wants to do Torah mitzvahs. So that's what we see with the Meraglim. And we know that no bad comes down from heaven. The only thing is that when it comes down, it can transform into bad. That the Yetzer Hara, what's called again? Yetzer Hara is also the Ma'ila good. But the Yetzer Hara is the Satan, the Malach HaMavis, and everything else. But the Malach HaMavis cannot touch a person without Hashem's will. Like what happened with the Satan, which went to Eov. He says, Eov, you don't touch. You can go around Eov and everything else, we can't touch him. They have no value, they have no own value. But then we see they did sin, the Meraglim. So what do you do with that the pshat that they did sin? So the idea is follows. They said they can't go down into Eretz Yisrael. They held that it's asur. Well, I'm going to put myself in this soyon to go into Eretz Yisrael. It's asur, like Beis Shammai. Beis Shammai says everything's asur. Anything that has bad in it, even though it has good in it, it's asur. You can't touch. Beis Hillel, on the other hand, says everything is kosher. We can transform the bad to good also. So they held like a Beis Shammai. But that was before the halacha was the nifsik. Because as soon as the halacha is paskin, you go like Beis Hillel. You cannot go, you're making Beis Hillel, Beis Shammai is wrong. So the same thing is also here. But as soon as I was paskin, not like the Merag, my colleague Ben Yefuneh and Yeshua, and that the Aretz is very good and everything else, and we could go in, then you can't go according to Menachem anymore. The same thing, as soon as paskin like Beis Hillel, you can't go Makom Beis Shammai. There's no Beis Hillel. There's Makom Beis Hillel, ain't Beis Shammai. You cannot go according to Beis Shammai. Because as soon as it's paskin. And what was paskin, that Olam HaMaisa is the main thing, action. Not machshava. We are not souls. We're souls in a body. We have to do maisa, action. Do Torah mitzvahs. And Be'ez Hashem, as soon as we know, we are now in the Midbar HaAmim. We are in the desert. Abayim Shana Akud B'Doir. Vayma Am Toy Levav Heim. Veim Liyod Drachai. It says in the Chun Ranina. That we So by us doing Maisa, and even lower than Maisa, a Maisa Shebe Maisa, we'll go towards the Gula Amitis Vashlema imminently right now. Long live our master teacher, never King Mashiach, forever and ever. Long live our master teacher, never King Mashiach, forever and ever. Long live our master teacher, never King Mashiach, forever and ever.